Well, good afternoon. We are live here on the Pirrone Prieur show at Gathered Creations on site here in this amazing shop. Quick shout out to our sponsors. We got Barron's Insurance, amazing insurance company. Yep. Jacob's Supply. Got some great deals going on over there. If you need lumber, siding, whatever you need, they got
Windows, you name it.
And then Indian Creek Zoo. A lot going on over there. Go check them out.
Great place. He's got another new exhibit going up again. So every time you go out there, there's something new.
Yeah. He's always doing something.
Yeah,
we were just there over the weekend.
So we are here with Mike Fisher.
Hi, Paul.
This is your second time being with us.
It's been a while. It's been like before we opened
a song.
Right.
I think we did this before we opened last year.
Yeah. So.
Oh no, we were
outside.
So this is the third time because you did our grand opening.
Yeah. So how long have you been open now?
September of 2020 we opened. So it's been going up really just about a full year. Going on,
approaching a year. That's awesome. So how's things going?
Things are great. We're having a great time. I think there's a lot of community involvement. The sport's been fantastic. Thank you for your guys' promotion. It's been amazing. We've got really through the winter classes picked up like you wouldn't believe. And I think the reason for that is people were so isolated and wanted to do something. We created a safe environment for people to come in here. And from 3-year-olds to 90-year-olds from all different mediums, we've got a dozen teachers teaching out of here now. And Lynette's got this classroom full, 4 or 5 nights a week. So
that's awesome.
What kind of classes are you doing?
Well, it's by inception, it's a glass fusion studio. So not like glass blowing, but glass fusion. I can give you a dissertation on glass fusion, but I won't. If you want to know, give us a call or check out www.gathercreations.com.
Sign up for the class.
Yeah, exactly. But however, it's fused glass. It's a studio. We have a full kiln, diamond working, all the cold working tools. But we have everything from that to drawing, watercolor, and everything between, acrylics. Actually, ironically, one of the most incredible classes we've got that we had the most repeats are stenciling little records. We call it Stencil Me Crazy. And we take old records, and if they're not worth anything, take those and they dry brush those like Mandela, and then they'll sit there for hours with little acrylic paints. And then we have drop-in classes so they can come back and finish them. We have some people that will come back, 3-4 times throughout the month until they're just completely satisfied and get it done. So, just about everything.
Do you do things like oil painting or watercolors? Do you get any?
Yeah, we actually have Phil Kinnesecker is our watercolor instructor, and Phil studied under Larry Golba. I think you guys know him. Phil's on the fire board. Yeah, exactly. He was the assistant fire chief in Toledo for years. Great friend of mine, mentor, and he teaches our watercolor class. So that's pretty much that. And Carrie McCarrow is our colored pencil class. That's probably the most, what I would say, actual art programs. Everything else is really out of the box.
You want to hear a funny story about Larry Golba's wife?
Yeah.
So when I was in 7th grade at the junior high, I would jump down the whole flight of stairs. Well, his wife just happened to open the door when I was in mid-flight.
Oh, no way.
And I landed and broke my leg.
Oh, I think you told me this story.
Yeah.
That's
and then even funnier, Larry Odell suspended me. 3 days, and then I had to come and beat him in the election. So that's how I got
Is that how it happened?
Yeah.
All right. He's in Texas now. You can't defend himself.
Exactly.
But it's a true story.
That's cool. That's a great story.
Surprisingly, let you back in.
So sorry, Mr. Golba. I don't know if I've ever gotten to apologize to you for landing me. Maybe I did. I don't remember. It's been a long time.
I have no idea. I don't know. But
so anyways.
But no.
So you got the classes, and I don't know if a lot of people realize you're like an antique store here.
It is, yeah. So the name of the shop is Gathered Creations. The tagline is something old, something new, something created just for you. So you're sitting in something old. This is a large vintage. This is all vintage and antiques. And we procure. It's not an antique mall. My wife and I, do estate sales and such, and really go to 4 corners to find quality items to come in here for people. And then you've got the art studio. So that's the something new or something great just for you. And then we have the gifts. So we have gifts and vendors. Like I say, we're up to about 30, 40 vendors now and about 20 artists.
Awesome.
And so, out of the space.
Tell us about this TV. I don't know if you can see it to my right.
Yep.
Right there.
This neat TV.
That was recent. That's like my Mike and Frank moment, right? We had the biggest pick of our life recent, right? And this one, there was a guy, he's moving out to Colorado, and his company's paying him to take so much poundage with him. Grandparents collected antiques. It's one of those stories. Him and his brother, his parents. And it's a Philco TV from 1957. It's actually working. If anybody is watching this and knows antiques, that's kind of a big deal. But it was the precursor to a remote control. That top monitor is not attached. There's a 30-foot ribbon cable back there. So you throw that next to the base, next to Lazy Boy, and you could change your channels and adjust your volume, and then put that anywhere in the room, and it's working. You know, we've looked it up on several different areas and the resources that we go to find. We've only found one other working, and I don't want to mention the price, but we found one that is actually not working for parts like that for about $2,200.
Yeah.
So it's really kind of a museum piece, is what the guys are telling me. So I've got the I don't want to sell it price because it's such a cool conversation piece. Right now.
that is cool.
Well, and those
Yeah.
TVs too,
Yeah.
because back in the day, most of the TVs were put into wooden cases and so
Yeah.
on. So this would be equated to your flat screen TV today.
Basically,
is what this was.
Yep.
They were ahead of their time.
So it's cool, and I love that kind of stuff. You know, my wife and I, as far as the antiques, we've been married for 33 years, and we were the youngest by probably 20, 30 years in most antique stores. In our
I haven't
20s.
seen that old.
No.
I just
33
gave
years.
it up, you know, I've been married for 33 years.
Wow.
Lynette still looks like
Yeah.
she's 17, 18 years
Yeah.
old. So
You know, well, you know, I was 11 or 12. We knew people at the township. So
He's
we
not campaigning anymore, Lynette.
Yeah, my brothers would tell you today that I am the daughter that my mother never had.
oh, there you go.
Yeah. That's my self-depreciating humor.
There you go.
That's what,
Hey, there's still time.
yeah. It's true. Oh, Lord. Hey, next.
There you go. Oh, okay.
So when you were a kid growing up,
Mhm.
did old things interest you? I mean, you know, because like on American
Absolutely.
Pickers, you know, they as kids they were looking for stuff. Were you doing the same thing?
I've been collecting things since I was a kid. I'm really, you know, my daughter's a minimalist, and I drive her crazy. Not Jossie. This is my daughter Juliana, the mother of our grandchildren. And but no, when I was a little kid, I always loved it. And I think maybe it had to do with I really spent a lot of time with my grandparents. And my dad was 49 when I was born, so I had older brothers and sisters in the home. I was the youngest of 6 by 8 years. And my sister now, who's alive to this day, will be 81 August 24th.
Wow.
And Sharon, if you're watching, I'm really sorry, but you know, you're 81. Okay.
Wow, that's crazy.
So I did. I had a real interest in my aunts and uncles, my parents, and my brothers and sisters, and you know, being born in 1969. And so all of that, I kind of felt there was this whole world before me. So I think it really goes back to that. You know, not to get too deep, but I think it goes back to the nostalgia. I really feel like there's things that my brothers and sisters experienced and I never did. And there was all kinds of cool stuff around our house, and I was the beneficiary of it. Right? There's still things I have at home, you know, that I got when I was a kid. In fact, my brother's record collection. You know, his girlfriend and him broke up, and one day she came over. I didn't know they broke up because I was 10, but these crates of albums come and she shoves them down. I didn't find out until I was 22 that those were my brothers.
Oh my gosh. Well, and vinyl's really popular again because a lot of people are buying systems and so
Huge.
on.
Absolutely. We sell a lot of vinyl. This is all back behind the Baron. This is all crates of vinyl, and people will come in here and just buy stacks of it.
I remember in
Stacks
college, it used to be a status symbol because like I was pushing 125 watts a channel. So I was
Oh, there you go.
I had an elite system.
Nice.
I worked all summer and bought that thing.
Oh, that's
And,
great.
You know, that's when we had speakers that were this high.
Sure.
And just took the
Sure.
plaster off.
So
the
with
wall.
On vinyl, you know what's really encouraging is the trend we see people buying. The people that we see buying the most are college-age kids, and predominantly females, at least so far. They'll come in, and I asked one gal, you know, why? And she goes, my grandpa, my dad, you know, and classic rock and all that, I just love it. And I love the sound of vinyl. I think people understand there's a warmth to it. You know, we compress the heck out of the music now.
Right.
You know, it's just the bandwidth's about like this. You put a record, it just opens up. You hear all the instruments. So,
Right.
so I think it's really coming back. It's really getting popular.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah, because when my papa died, I had a whole box.
Yeah.
And they weren't really worth much. You know,
Yeah,
I mean,
you know, it's-
there was like 4 or 5. I had a Johnny Cash one and a
Sure.
few other
Yeah.
interesting ones that were worth like a few bucks.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
And that's
Right.
what it is for me. I really kind of keep my finger on the pulse, but I'll go to an estate sale. If I see a bunch of them for sale, I'll just give an offer on all of them. You know, after I look for the room for 10,
Right.
15 minutes, if I see maybe 5, 10, 15 of them that I can really turn, you know, then I'll take the whole lot and give them some just
Well-
to get them. And then the ones that aren't worth anything, we do the stencil me crazy.
Paint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and some of it's too. It's the artwork in the cover. It's not so much the vinyl, but
Incredible.
it's getting a rare cover
Mhm.
like the
Oh,
Beatles
like
was
this one.
and
Look at
things
that. Grab
yeah.
that. Grab that Goodbye to Old
Which
Brick
one?
Road.
Elton
And you got
John.
like this
There we
Elton
go.
John, for instance. You know, look at the
Right.
detail artwork on those is just absolutely incredible.
Yeah, that's right.
It's
So
cool. It's artwork itself.
So what's like
Exactly.
something like that worth, Elton
Oh, I
John?
don't know. Probably. If they're a price on it, I'd let you know. It's probably about 35.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yep.
and to think
And
back
the
when
thing
that
is
album-
at some point,
Right.
these could be worth hundreds and thousands of dollars.
You think so?
You know what I mean? It just
they're
depends
really
on,
not the ones that are worth something don't depreciate, right? Albums that aren't worth anything are not going to be worth anything when they came out. They really aren't now either.
Yeah.
Right? But there are so many that are, especially that 60s, 70s era. People.
Oh, you get those live albums like Led Zeppelin and stuff.
Absolutely.
There's nothing like it.
Yeah, they fly off the shelf.
Yep.
I can't keep the Stones, the Beatles, Johnny Cash in stock. They just go like that. And Bing Crosby. We get Bing Crosby Christmases in, and they're gone any time of the year. They're just gone. So,
well, that's the whole thing with the Stones.
Yeah.
Oh, I hope they keep lasting,
Yeah.
but it's crazy because, I mean, they're all in their 70s.
Right.
And they're still going at it.
They are.
And what I find it interesting is there's the younger generation that is discovering rock and roll that it's like, whoa, this is pretty good stuff.
Right.
You know, it's endured.
Yeah, it really has.
well, hey, why don't we take a quick commercial break?
Okay.
We have some special guests. Al, if you want to introduce them when we go off.
Yep.
They're with the VFW.
We're going to have Ken Shreve and Larry.
Come on over, guys.
Joining us.
Go ahead, Ken, get in there. Yeah, I'll do it real quick for you.
This is American Legion.
514.
514. Great. What's he gonna like?
They're both mics on there.
I got two.
Oh, yeah, we need to
Switch seats.
Or just turn the mic.
Can
so
switch.
just turn the mic. That's we can
Yeah.
we can just turn that towards you. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Yep. Yeah, you're good.
There you go. Thanks, Mike.
Well, gentlemen, I'd like to introduce you to our audience. We've got Ken Shreve and Larry Ethan from American Legion 514, which is just up the road in Ida.
Just up the road.
And it's a pretty good Legion. We went up there. You remember it was just before COVID. Everybody was all nervous. We had that dinner.
That's right. We had a big birthday dinner up there.
Right,
So,
exactly. And we're
100th anniversary, I think.
yeah, you've been in around quite a while. So tell us a little bit. You got a big event coming up.
Yes, we do.
So what are we doing up there?
Well, we've got a impersonator, Elvis and Roy Orbison, a guy that does both impersonations, a guy named Matt King, and he's performed all over the country and in Canada. And he's coming to see us September 25th, and we're going to do two shows. The first show is the doors are going to open at 5 p.m. for a 6 p.m. show. And then the second show will be the doors open at 8:30 for a 9:30 show. And we hope to have somewhere in the neighborhood of 200 to 300 people each show.
Oh, that'd be good. Now you're going to have food and alcohol too, or?
We're going to have snacks.
Yeah, we're gonna have snacks. We'll have a bar. Bartenders will be serving beer and I think select mixed drinks. But this is our first show, so we want to sort of ease our way into it.
Okay.
But it's
We can't go wrong with Elvis.
exactly.
Right?
Or Roy Orbison.
Or Roy. So how much are tickets?
They're $25.
Okay.
So we're offering 300 tickets for each show. We're selling tickets. They're by PayPal. We've got it listed up on our marquee out in front of the building. You can stop in and buy tickets using the PayPal, and tickets will be available at the door.
Okay. So I'm definitely going to go. So I know I'm going to
Great.
take two of them. Ken, just tell us a little bit about your service to this country.
Well, I was a Marine from 1963 to 1967. Served most of my time in Hawaii. I was very lucky. I didn't end up in Vietnam, but I know a lot of people that went over there. And I worked in a communications center there for 3 years. So spent a lot of time supporting our guys. And since I've come out, I've felt a need to really be close to other servicemen and do what I could for them. And recently I was elected the commander at our post 514. Larry here is my adjutant,
Okay.
and he's the guy that makes me look good.
Oh, good.
So,
Hey, I
does
know that
everything
position
for me.
because I do the same thing with Paul Pirrone. So
Yeah, right.
I
There you
thoroughly
go.
understand that. So, Larry, can you share your service history?
Yeah, I joined the United States Army in 1987. I was injured. I've been a couple different places in the world. Not a whole lot that I like to talk about, but 17 total years service. I came from a military family,
Okay.
a lot of police officers as well. But my grandfather was heavy into VFW, American Legion, DAV. So he just when I was growing up, he just told me, promised me that you'll get involved, and it's been something that I guess in the last 4 or 5 years I really got involved with, and it's gratifying. It's good to do something for other veterans,
Right.
and I think I'm fortunate that I'm not affected with the PTSD or anything else, and I like to help other veterans that have been affected by things.
Now, my dad was in World War II. Are like the kids of veterans allowed to join the American Legion at all, or is that?
They would be what's called the Sons of the American Legion. Yes, anyone that has a grandfather or father that served in the military can join the Sons. Women, we can join the auxiliary, the women's auxiliary, or they call it now just the auxiliary. And either way, you can get involved.
Okay.
I hold a dual
And
membership.
We're
Okay.
looking for more and more members all the time.
Okay.
And it's one of the things that I dedicated myself to this year or two that I'm going to be spending as commander is increasing our membership and getting our post more aware in the community of what we're doing and how we can serve veterans and getting more people to come in and help us do that.
Well, good. Are there any like other services that you guys offer at the Legion, or?
Well, we've got a service officer that's heavily involved with the Veterans Administration, the Lighthouse Foundation. Um, there's a couple more that I can't remember off the top of my head, but we're very active with getting help to people that need help. Veterans are they're our lifeblood. I mean,
Right.
we've been places that a lot of other people haven't been.
I know I go through my dad's stuff because I inherited that, and I see where he went and letters he wrote, and he was gone at 17 years old to go fight, and he was gone for 3 years. It was like, say goodbye and hopefully you come back.
Yep.
So I love that history. So tell us again, Ken, give us some dates again when this great event's going to be.
September 25th.
Okay.
And we'll hopefully be doing a lot of advertising around town here and getting out more. And I can tell you another thing that we do. We have a place called the Whirlwind Lodge, and that's up near Ludington. It's in Custer, Michigan. It's 1,183 acres with 400 acres of marsh and just all kinds of wildlife and all. And any veteran can go up there for 5 days at a time and stay at that lodge for absolutely no cost to that veteran.
Okay.
If he's suffering from PTSD or anything else, or
go up there and
or if
relax,
he's
and
coming back from overseas and needs to get reacquainted with his family that he hasn't been with for a couple of years, we can get him 5 days up there to just do nothing but be with their family and get
Great.
reacquainted. And
Good.
it's a great place, and just great things to do up there. ATVs, boats, you name it. We got a big lake up there.
super.
Tons of things that can be done to get them reacquainted with their families.
Well, great. Well, we're glad you came on. Let me ask you something. Do you like that thing up there where it says "Land of the Free"?
Oh, absolutely.
You know what?
Love it.
I'm
Absolutely.
going to buy that and donate. Me and Pirrone are going to donate that to your post.
We'd love that.
Yep.
Absolutely. Thank you.
So we're going to do that.
Thank you.
And we're going to see Elvis, and we're going to see Orbison, and we're going to rock it out.
That'd
So
be great.
Can't wait to see you all there.
great. We'll be there. Thanks, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
That's excellent.
Thanks a lot, guys,
Wow.
for being on. And
Thank you, Larry and Kent.
so, Mike,
So, Frank, hang
talk
on
to
a
me
little
about the website.
Well, yeah, actually, let's talk about the website, but they just inspired me about something.
Okay,
Reminded
go
me of
ahead. Go ahead.
One of the most rewarding things we've done here, class-wise, is a partnership with Little Blessings, with Duke Farms Little Blessings Veteran Community Outreach with Jane Paxton. And
They're
they've
doing
got
amazing things. you know?
amazing things.
Great things.
They've got that equestrian program, and we were fortunate enough to work with her and get the kids of some of the parents to go through that program. And so on Saturdays once a month, we had those children. We still do that. It's just absolutely amazing.
Well, horses and art, they're both very therapeutic because I know I used to own horses, and there's just something. And my wife's an artist.
Right.
I can't draw stick people. Matter of fact, I paid kids to do my art projects in school.
Did you ride a horse?
Yes, I did. Matter of fact, I rode a big horse.
Oh, did you? Well, I can't imagine a little horse. You ride a
No,
little
not
horse.
like the pony you did. Mom didn't put a quarter in for mine, Pirrone.
Not opposed to
You
that.
got your slush.
Yeah.
He had
Frozen Coke?
Yeah, he got a slushy from 7-Eleven.
Yeah.
Mom dressed
I did
it up
have
like
two
a-
horses one time, though, honestly, and I never owned horses before. It was interesting.
Yeah. He thought
We
you tied
thought-
him up to the
We
tree
thought
or
we'd have
something.
them for the kids, and just something to take
Right.
care
It's
of.
for
and-
the kids.
oh,
Yeah, the horses are great.
It's crazy.
I love them.
Yeah, there's just something
Yeah.
really therapeutic about it.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, and they've
Need to
talked to me all
watch.
about the program. But, similarly, I've talked to you a lot. This place was inspired by our daughter, and we really saw the cliche artist therapy coming to life before our eyes, and this was the inspiration for this. It was going to be an art studio, a glass fusion studio for her, and we
you
figured
had a lot of pushback too.
we had a lot of pushback. Yeah, we opened in the middle of COVID. Opened
Yeah.
in September. We saw
Oh,
a
I
little
know.
window when we
People
opened.
thought you were crazy.
They did. They did. Yes, some did. Yes. And the verdict's still out on that one. But here we are. But so anyway, I just wanted to mention that.
Yeah,
and
no,
thank
that's
you guys
cool.
for being here
No,
and being on.
it's so neat.
It's
that-
absolutely amazing. And we love it. We'd love to have, anybody that is in one of your programs, send them over. We'll get them in a class. Art is so therapeutic, and it's really the impetus and the inspiration for why this is here. This wouldn't exist if we didn't see that come to life in our daughter, and I saw it come to life in me, and I saw it come to life in so many others. And so we wouldn't be sitting here doing this if it weren't for that case. So
And I'm gonna get your guys' thing before you leave too. You guys
you
go
get
ahead and
out
keep talking.
Great. Don't watch that TV.
Oh, don't.
Pirrone, watch the TV. Watch the TV, Pirrone.
Look at Look at that. I got
There we go.
it. Look at that. And it's $150, Al, just so you know. The price went up.
Good, because you're sharing half of it.
Ladies and gentlemen, this was the last time that Alan Paul.
$10,000
Yeah, he
TV.
just killed the TV.
We're about to go silent. We're
Two
about to
in
go
the
silent.
country, and he kills one of them.
Okay, you were asking about our website.
Yeah, talk to me about the
So
website.
something we're really excited about. We really wanted to get the brick and mortar going, but we also understand that there's a large presence. I do sales and marketing and such. So we've got a website being developed where we'll have all the classes integrated. Well, our classes are on Facebook now, but that way they're all integrated in one place. We'll have an online store, curbside pickup, ship anywhere in the country, and we're going to be doing soliciting custom art pieces. And really, in the space we're doing in the fall is, you've got corporate gifts, Harry and David, Wolferman's, that type of thing, which are all great. But we're going to have unique art pieces that businesses can buy and give as corporate gifts, at the holiday season.
That'll be good.
And we also still have a lot of people that would love to shop from home. We've got so many friends and people across the country that they'd love to support us here and have things sent to them. And we specialize in smalls, so we can ship this stuff anywhere in the country.
Well,
So that's coming soon.
and the
We'll
thing
be
is
done next
that-
couple of weeks.
that people nowadays, they're looking for unique.
They are.
They don't want the same old thing over and over, or they get a theme going or a man cave going, and you've got the stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
But tell us, you might not tell us your secrets, but
Sure.
how often are you picking, or what do you look for? I mean, are you just going to
Well-
estate sales, or do you drive by like an old house and?
No, we'll do
And-
that. Now, the fortunate thing, it was a lot of hustling when we started. And Coke was really good for that. I work remotely, and I love what I do, but you can only do so many Zoom meetings, right? So we get
Right.
Fridays and Saturdays, and we hustled. We were doing, estate sales, a lot of estate sales. We got to know some of the estate people by name, and we still do to this day. Now we're getting the good fortune that people are calling us. People are coming in and wanting to either consign things, which we don't do a lot of. If you have something you want to consign or a group of things, bring them in. We'll come over and talk to you.
What
And
about a
we'll give
rider
their-
mower? I got a rider mower.
Yeah, I don't
Think
want
about
to
some.
ride anymore.
How about Pirrone? Can we put a tag on them or what?
No.
And we get
Not well, you know. I was going to say a few more years with patina, and we'll throw a price tag on it.
there we go.
You're just not old enough, my friend.
Let's put some rust on his forehead or something. We can.
My hair is going quick.
Yeah, it is exactly.
So what is that sign? The Dirtles music. Did you
Dirtles
finish
music.
up about the website?
Yeah, well, website's coming. It'll be gathercreations.com.
Okay.
We'll have it with it's almost finished now. We're putting finishing touches on. We've got a great designer taking care of it, and it'll be done within the next week or two. So we'll say 2 weeks. We'll have it up in about a week or two.
You know, one of my favorite parts of our project we did, and I'm squirreling, I'm all over the map,
It's okay.
is that we connected the sidewalks to where your daughter could
That's
get here
incredible.
safely. That was I
Yeah.
talk about that all the time. That's my favorite part of the whole project is that
great.
we
I
connected
agree.
to Ivor Lindsay.
agree.
People could safely, and we talk about that to the BDC and to some of the state people. We connected a woman to her business
Absolutely, yeah. And
that can get there safely.
And the
through
fact is,
crosswalks, so.
Jossie lives here in Ivor Lindsay, right? So,
Right.
Several years ago, she was just 5 miles away from us, but she's there, and it gives her a level of independence. She didn't have living with mom and dad, which is a wonderful place. I think it's one of the best kept secrets in Monroe County. However, we chose this location because Jossie lived here. Our son had a house here at the time. He still lives in Temperance, but he moved to another house. But we chose it because we raised our kids here. We love Temperance. I love the zip code. We love Bedford. Kids are 4th generation in the school system. I'm an implant from Toledo, but my wife is her maiden name is Frances, and so she's been here for eons. Her family, and we just love the community. And I just love Temperance, and I can really see. You got Vintage Finds, you've got the Den, you've got us here. You've got Pavlov's. You've got all the wonderful places that are happening down here. Chris's place at 419.
There's a lot of history and
a lot of history
there
in
is.
Temperance.
a lot of history with the Francis.
Yeah.
Yep.
Really
So
with the. I mean, just across the street with
Francis Foods, absolutely.
the maintenance shop.
Oh, that too. Yeah, that was
Women Ford.
Women Ford.
People
Original,
don't
that's right.
realize.
Yeah.
No, the sidewalk.
Foods.
Get back to that a little bit. People don't realize how important sidewalks are to a transportation plan because that sidewalk represents freedom. Freedom to not only go to a job downtown Temperance, but it means I can walk to the park.
Well, for kids like your grandson
Yeah,
who just
exactly.
started a job, he can walk to his
He
job
walks to
safely.
Maggie's. He walks. He doesn't have to
Yeah.
take a car or whatever.
That's great.
And so Temperance is the only place that we can truly walk to without gaps right now.
Yeah.
Because other spots we have like in Lambertville and so on, like the DDA, they're doing a great job like within that 4 corners, but then you got some gaps. Right?
Did you shave your face today or did Sue do it?
No, True Cuts. I'm going to throw out a shout out.
Okay, Paul. So you were
Two
asking me
cuts.
about this sign over here.
You missed a big
No,
chunk on the
that's
side.
True Cuts. True Cuts. I'm a fast grower. What have you been growing like
Ah,
5-6 days now or
You
what?
need to get a mirror.
Huh?
So that sign, I'm sorry, Al.
Yeah.
That sign
I don't
up
think
there,
it's it.
Turtles music.
It's Dirtell's. Just so you know, because there's a history to it. Can you?
Dirtles,
Do you want to pan it? That's a great question, Paul. That's Dirtell's music. If you see
Look
it
at
there.
that sign.
I took guitar lessons there when I was 13 years old. And if there's any musicians that are listening to this, they're going to know who Dirtell's are. Mr. Dirtell started the business 70-some years ago, and Fred and Alice Schumann took it over almost 40 years ago. Recently, locally, Central and Douglas, just a little bit west of Douglas Central.
Okay.
That sign.
See, Al would say that's locally. To me, that's not local.
He thinks once you cross the line, you're in another.
You're out of Bedford. You're not local to me.
Yeah.
I don't like Dirtles anymore.
Okay. All right. So Dirtell's music. There's Dirtell's music.
Mike, go
Is
ahead.
it
It's
Toledo?
okay to hit him. It's all right.
I'm not going to do it. I will not hit a township official. I won't hit another human being. I just won't do it. Yeah. So, I love you.
Dirtell's.
What was I talking about? Okay. Dirtell's music. I took guitar lessons when I was 13 years old. People, if you talk to a guitarist, they're going to know Dirtell's music. Well, Fred and Alice just love these people. And I took lessons there when I was a kid. They closed recently. My wife and I went in about 2 days before they closed, and I bought a guitar, which I've been playing a lot. And then a couple months ago, they're moving to Alabama. They moved. They just started auctioning things off, and this was the last thing. They put it on Facebook, and it was a silent bid. I put the bid in. It's like, and I get the call the next day that I won. Like, this is fantastic. I won the sign. Until I got there, because you see that sign right there? The sign that I saw, since I did not read the 4 foot by 8 foot dimensions in her Facebook post, I thought it was a sign about that big that's hung right above where they repaired guitars. So I show up and there's that thing, right?
Like,
So
whoa.
it's not heavy, but it's awkward. It didn't fit in
Right.
my Jeep. So I came back the next day and got it. And we put it up there. And the beautiful thing about it is that, we have Guitar Center, which is a great national chain.
Right.
You have Music Around, it's a great chain. But the small local music stores are kind of going the way of small local art galleries. The concept here with our art studio is we knew full well that independent pottery studios and things, while they do well in some markets, watercolor places, drawing, art places, under one roof, just one thing, it's really hard to keep things going from a financial standpoint, right?
Right.
So but I felt that if we had multiple things under one roof, we had the antique store, we had the gift shop, we had the classes, and then multiple art forms, not just somebody doing glass, not just somebody doing pottery, not just somebody doing drawing, that would work, and it's proven to be true. Same thing with music, right? So I've had Jossie and friends of mine say, Mike, you're a musician. Music's art. You haven't focused on art yet. Your art yet, right? So this is my foray into that. So I bought that, put it up, and Fred and Alice encouraged me to continue selling picks, straps, guitar strings, guitars, and gave me all their vendors of the last 50, 60 years. And I'm negotiating with a few of them now, and we're gonna be doing that. So we'll be offering vintage guitars.
That's a big
on a
business.
regular basis.
I mean,
not only vintage, I'll probably have ones that are semi-modern, within 10, 15 years old as well.
I mean,
But
if you
we're
ever
always
watch
gonna try
American Pickers or
Yeah.
pawnbrokers,
Yeah.
I mean, people walk in and some of these guitars, man, they're six figures.
You know something you should start doing here is giving guitar lessons if you have time.
Well, I don't have time.
That's a high demand
I don't have
around
time
here.
personally, but I do have a couple of instructors. One of them is Tim Ollers, who I work with. He's actually doing he played for us for our open house. And we had a big antique blowout on May 1st. He played for us too. And he'll be doing it again on the 24th, which we'll talk about. But I've got him and Ron Lawson over at Forte School of Music that I send people to. So if anybody wants to take lessons, and Larry, we talked about this a little bit before the show here, right? If anyone wants to take lessons, just contact us and I'll get you in touch with the right person.
Nice.
But we're not doing it here. One thing we would like to do, and I'll put this out here now, and actually have spoken with Jamie Paxton about it as well. And now that Kent and Larry are here, there's a friend of mine in Chicago that when we opened, sent me a video of a group in Chicago, veterans. And they actually have they don't do guitar lessons, but they do a guitar circle. And it's a guitar circle with people with ADHD, PTSD that came back, and they take guitars, they restore the guitars, and then they give them the guitar, and then they just sit around. It's not a lesson. Just teach them 2-3 chords in the truth, right? And just hang out and have a good time. And that's just so therapeutic. So it's something I would like to launch. I'm a guy with a lot of ideas, and I've launched a lot over the last 9 months, but that's something I really would like to get to in the fall. So maybe we can talk more about that too.
Well, they say too, when
that'd be cool.
When you talk about therapy, I don't know if you remember Mr. Holmes, the music.
I sure do. Yep.
Well, when he had a stroke, one thing that helped him recover was playing instruments. And they wrote about that when you're a stroke. Yes. Because in getting your brain going and that type of thing, is that music is very therapeutic for that. And he was doing that. And I forget where I seen the article, and they interviewed him and so on. So
I'm actually glad the conversation is going this way, because that's, I talk about Jocelyn being the inspiration of this, right? But really we're getting to the core of it, that, I believe that the arts, whether it be music, whether it be drawing, whether it be pottery, whether it be glass, whatever we're doing to create, right? It really does something to us. I don't think that art, and we were designed to be able to play music and to sing and to draw and create these things just for entertainment value. What we've largely turned it into over the last couple of 100 years, I think it's here for all of us. I think it's there for that reason, right? And that's another reason that this place is here, to foster that. We've really, truly, in our own lives and others, discovered the healing art, healing therapy of art, and we love it. And that's what this is really all about: to let people connect and do something, to just create, and it does something inside of you that I think we can all attest to.
You talk about Phil Koenigsegger, man. What a great guy.
Oh,
yeah,
love
he
him.
really is.
He's an author too.
Great guy.
He wrote a fantastic book, and he's working on another one. So
I read an interesting piece this week, and it talks about art and God, and that we really should be taking a look that this really is God's masterpiece. And when we look around, that you look at the trees and you look at the nature and you look at the oceans and the mountains and people, is that we're all works of art, basically.
All creation testifies to the glory
You
of
are
God.
definitely a work of art, my friend.
Yeah.
A precious work of art.
I mean,
I am museum quality, dude. I am like Van Gogh to you name it, buddy.
you are definitely antique museum quality. Yeah.
I'm thinking more like a Salvador Dali, personally.
Hey, I like it. I love it.
But yeah, so it is really healing, and we have people experience that. One of my favorite stories, A couple came in here over many of them, but it was a class that Jossie taught, and I happened to be her helper that night, which I love to do. I don't get to do it enough. But a couple came in there from Wyandotte, and I thought they were husband and wife, but they weren't. And found that they were both had lost their spouses, and they lived in Wyandotte, Michigan. And they came here to the Francis Family YMCA, and there's a grief share program that Carol Lutman put in place years ago after we lost Howard. And they saw the article for Gathered Creations, and it was called The Healing Power of Art in either the Bedford Now or the Bedford Press. And they saw it, and they were companions, and came down from Wyandotte and took the class together, and that was incredible.
Advertising
and
works.
those types of things happen all the
It
time.
does.
So
Well,
Just like this, Al. Go ahead, do your little shout out.
for our cycling
Kathy
event.
Comstock,
yes,
Compassion
Food and Fun.
On August 14th, we're having a bike ride. Let's get it on there.
Go ahead,
Then
Al.
we're going to be at Forest View. We're going to take a really cool cruise. It's going to go up through Luna Pier. We're going to come down to Erie, stop at the Apple Orchard. It's about 30 miles, so it's everybody should be able to handle it.
30 miles.
Yeah, that's a piece
You
of
guys
cake.
hand out pillowcases with the bikes?
You
My
gotta be
butt
kidding.
would be in
You know what?
shambles after 4 miles.
Right. I'll get you your 3-wheeler, buddy.
Electric
It-
bike.
Electric bike.
Yeah.
We'll get you electric assist.
Al, I got one of those little vintage bells we could put on.
Oh, that'd be good. That'd be good. Yeah. So this is gonna be a great event. It'll be a Forest View. We're gonna have food. We're gonna have music. Mike is
Food,
arranging for bands
vendors,
to come there.
Bands all day long, vendors from the community.
Exactly.
It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to be there. There's a couple of our artists that are going to be there. So I'm excited about that event. Kath, we love that organization, and we can't wait to be a part of it.
Yep. So if you need more information or you need to register, it's the number 734-854-7001. And it's going to just be, we're going to have a good time. But we're trying to get more bike rides in Bedford. This is the one thing we're trying to do, because with COVID, like right now, if you walk into a bike shop, you probably still can't buy a bike.
Right.
Dude, we've got like so many bikes in our garage. We put one on that Buy Nothing site.
It's
I
right
mean, it was
right?
gone.
they're
We put a
good.
blue one out, and it was gone in like seconds.
Oh, it's in Reggie's. He's got a few bikes. There's like no bikes. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Bike shortage like the car shortage.
Exactly.
Incredible.
Because everybody's discovered it. And then the other thing is going on is what we call the e-bikes, is that they've come down in price. So we're keeping people on bikes longer. So we have people that are in their 70s that are saying, okay, I can't really take that big hill anymore. They press the button, they can get up the hill, turn the button off, and they start pedaling again. So
Hey, honey, I know we missed Father's Day, but
There you go.
Christmas is coming.
Yeah.
Al was riding his bike down Temperance Road last year, and his dog saw a squirrel.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, I
Head over heels on the bike.
I was running, and all of a sudden it was actually a squirrel or a rabbit. She's usually pretty good, and boy, she went after it, and I went one way, and she went the other way, and yeah, I got a little bloodied.
Not good.
And then the neighbors Tim come out. He says, "Al, you all right?" And I said, "Yeah, just scrape me off the ground. I'll be okay." But I've been riding bikes since I was a little kid.
Yeah, I love riding.
Yeah.
I love riding too.
We've got a new dog, Golden Doodle, and I'll ride with him.
Be careful.
He just goes full on a sprint,
yeah.
and he'll pull
Yeah.
me. I mean, it's scary
I
doing
couldn't
that
do it
with
with
him.
mine. I had a husky lab I put down a couple years ago, but he was a runner.
Because if they go a different direction, I mean, you're in trouble.
Well, and your dog, it's got some hunting dog in it, so their nose is geared up to like, oh, that smells good. Let's go for it.
Yeah.
So, in terms of what are some of your plans you're looking to in the future? Are you looking to expand, or what do you?
Yeah,
what do you think
we
you're-
are. Immediate plans are really to bolster the awareness this summer. We're gonna have a couple of events. We're gonna do something again in July. July 24th, actually, Tim Mullers is playing again, and we're gonna have some of our artists here and some things going on here at the shop. We'll be promoting that. The website is going to be a major part of our expansion, because that will take us outside of the local market and allow us to ship other places. And also, I think it'll really help solidify. Now, when you go to Facebook, Facebook's a great marketing piece, but not everybody's on Facebook. We're finding out that there is a certain percentage of people, especially as of late, that have dumped it, right? And they're not on. So we really want to get a way to reach them independent of Facebook. So that's going to really help, I believe. And then do another event in August. We'll be there at the events on August 14th, which would be fantastic.
Right.
And then from there, yeah, we do have plans to expand.
Ever-
We'd like to have more room. We're going to stay right here. We're committed to Temperance. We're committed to this building.
Good.
We've got our eyes on doing things in the general vicinity.
Trying to get
because
that
we
lot next door.
Trying to get the lot next door.
The
I was
parking
waiting for you
lot.
to bring that up. Yes.
Getting a lot.
Yep.
Working on that. They
hoping to get a parking lot right next door here, which would be
Good.
just absolutely fantastic, not just for us, but for the community. That is important. I'm glad you brought that up because over the
Mhm.
winter, it was a little rough. We've got people that are their mothers or single mothers or grandmothers or the age of our classes. Like I say, rain has quite a range, and parking will be so good for us, but not only for us, but the other business in the community.
Yeah.
I think if we have that, it'll really foster
Well, and
even more development down here
Mhm.
if we have that parking lot.
And you become a destination where people are like, hey, like
Oh,
you said,
We've had
get people-
Cleveland, Bowling Green, Ann Arbor, Detroit, Flat Rock,
Do
Sandusky.
people that own, I mean, do people knock on doors anymore? Just go through neighborhoods, knock on doors, hand flyers out
I don't know if they do
to
or
be
not.
more personal about it and
I
let
don't
people
That's not
know.
a bad idea.
I mean, really
Yeah, because
seriously.
I just got
mean, if
another
you knocked on my
1,500.
door and you
We've got a
told me,
really nice flyer.
you know,
We could pass them out. That's a great idea. Yeah, really good idea.
you know,
but I think here's the other unique thing about your place here is that when people come in, they're dealing with the owners. And like, for example, the history of this stuff. Like, tell us about the light fixture.
Oh my goodness, this light fixture. My wife Lynette and I met a gentleman's daughter in a estate sale here in town, and we got to talking. She goes, "You have to meet my dad." I'm like, "Okay, well, where's your dad?" Well, my dad, was a blacksmith, still is a blacksmith, active blacksmith. He's got 4 barns in St. Clair, right? St. Clair Shores, St. Clair, whichever one. He might be upset because I didn't differentiate between the two, but that area, it took me an hour and a half to get there. So we went up last year actually, and we bought some shepherd's crooks, and we bought back scratchers and wine racks that people just absolutely love that he hand forges. So I went in and I said, show me where you make this. We walk into a barn and it's just walking back in time, and I see this active forge that was built in 1847.
Wow. and
Right.
Still
He's got the
pumped
hammer. That's what that was made on.
Wow.
All this stuff was made on. And his history is this: he worked on the Sears Tower. He's 88 now. He worked on the Sears Tower when he was a young man. He got called back to Detroit. He did Detroit, Plymouth, and a couple other municipalities. And he and a young German apprentice and 5 other blacksmiths literally built everything there's iron in those cities. If you walk to Detroit and you see all of the iron bars
Right.
on all the municipality buildings, it was this guy, right? And so I saw it. I tried to get the hammer that he made it with, but he's still actively working, so he wouldn't sell me his hammer. But this was made. It was a custom commission. He made it for somebody in Ann Arbor, and I guess their funding fell through, and they didn't buy the house. So it was hanging in his barn. So I bought all the rest of the stuff, and I said, what do you want for that? So we worked out a deal, and 9 months later, I actually took my son and my nephew to pick it up. So we just picked it up recently. I paid for it a year ago.
that
almost a
thing
year
is
ago.
cool.
It's great. Oh, it's nice.
But see that's the
Yeah.
thing. Sometimes you go into places where they're like an antique mall, and you really don't know the history,
Right.
because the owner
Right.
might not be there or whatever.
Yeah.
So I think that's really a unique advantage is that I can walk in here and you can tell me about
Yeah.
that TV.
That's
you
a
can tell me about this.
That's a really good point. That's a good point. Like we were talking earlier, this is not an antique mall.
Right.
So we don't have other vendors in here. It's just we don't have the space, A. And B, we felt we could control the quality and we control the flow and the space much better if we did it ourselves. So Lynette and I actually procure the items and put them in here, and she does just a fabulous job. She and Annie and the,
What
and the
would you
gals
do
and
without
Deb.
Lynette?
Oh,
I
I have
know.
no idea. I have no idea what I'd do without her. Yeah,
She-
seriously. She's
I'm always campaigning Lynette.
I get paying later. But seriously, she's
Mike always
here.
says he married into royalty.
Yes,
He's
yes,
so
I
appreciative.
absolutely. Yes. No. Now you're gonna get me to blush.
Yeah,
All
there
right.
you
But
go.
anyway, but you're right. Yeah, this is and they put these vignettes together, and people say that. People come in, and I love that because I'm here sometimes in the evenings. I'm always here Friday afternoons, and on Saturdays I run the shop. And I've got a normal 9 to 5 because putting an antique shop and a
Right.
gift shop downtown Temperance, somebody had to keep going, right? But I come in here, I see something new every week. Even if I bought it, right? I'll go, oh, I forgot we got that. Because we bring it in. We've got
Right.
just as much as you see down here up in that mezzanine, right? For storage. So we're constantly
Sure.
rotating and rotating, keeping things fresh. And so I'm glad you noticed that because if people come in and say, I feel like I'm reliving my childhood. I
Oh,
think
it is.
people from 30 to 80 say the
Mhm.
same thing to me.
And it'll
that's
take
mission
people really
accomplished. I love
time to know that you're here and what you have.
Yeah.
Because most
Yeah.
people don't know that oh, hey, I'm looking for this thing. Well, stop here.
Stop here.
You know,
Stop
you
here for
never
gifts.
know.
And the other thing is not just, we're talking a lot about the antiques. We've talked about the art, but don't forget we have a full gift shop. You know, we have a full
Right.
garden center. We have a gift
Well,
shop up
and
front
plus,
with
if somebody's looking
vendors.
for something, you might know where it's at or
Absolutely.
where you can get it
You
too.
sure can.
So,
Well, and I go back a little bit because I just love this kind of stuff. But for example, you look at that radio, and what I look at is thinking, gee, somebody was sitting around that radio probably during World War II,
Yep.
listening to the news intently. And that was their social media. There wasn't anything else, no TV
Right.
and so on. So, you know, you look at that and you say, wow, you know, and I know I always had fun with I was telling Mike when I would go with my grandfather and my grandmother, we used to call it junking. And we'd get in his Chevy pickup truck. My grandfather was a tool and die guy, so we'd go find stuff. Then he'd fix it, and then he'd sell at the auction. And then when they moved to California, my grandmother, she was involved in the antiques, got my uncle through college.
Right.
And it was the same way. I'm like you. I always loved stuff, whether it was Matchbox cars, you name
Well,
it. I was always collecting
stuff
something.
like this now, though, people are buying just to stick on the mantle.
Oh,
Or on the
exactly.
fireplace. Like
Oh,
we
the
go to my
clocks.
brother-in-law's house, and my kids just play with that typewriter thing.
Right.
I mean, for hours they just
Yeah,
type about it.
they
They think
think
it's the
it's fun.
coolest thing, you know.
Or the cash
Or
register.
you
Yeah.
could, or you could
cash
put this.
registers.
You could put this in your living room and see how many kids could figure it out.
You could.
The old rotary.
You could. Absolutely. I love it. And that's part of it. You know, preserving history and understanding.
That reminds
You know,
me of that song, Jenny, who?
Yeah, 8675319. There you go. Yes.
Exactly.
So we
We should do
actually,
our own rock and
ironically,
roll show.
we should.
I know.
We
Yeah,
actually,
we should.
Yeah, I know.
ironically,
Look,
Can you
Donny
pan-
Osmond ain't gonna cut
Pan the
it.
camera over
Yeah,
just
no.
Where
us
you
two
going?
from
Yeah,
that.
right.
what are we doing?
Do you know who Black Sabbath is? Do you know who Black Sabbath is?
Hey, watch this though. When like if Al
I'm
starts
not gonna
asking
play.
you a question,
Mhm.
watch the numbers on it. It goes from
right.
like 15 down
Yeah.
to 2.
Is that what happens?
Yeah.
Right.
And then you start talking, it goes like it goes back
Oh,
up.
that's cool.
I try to tell he doesn't believe me, but it's
I
like
just asked the questions.
That's good.
he's got that calm, mesmerizing.
That's
You know,
right.
people just they start falling asleep.
All
Right.
right.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. I love you guys. These
Yeah.
these guys are incredible. What were we talking? Okay, so the we were talking about the history.
Right.
Yeah.
We love that. We actually had a kid in here just 2 weeks ago. She's actually one of our employees' daughters, and she discovered the typewriter. So we got paper out, the ribbon was working, and she's in there.
Oh, it's
actually on the
crazy.
typewriter. It's incredible, you know. And I think that even the history, like you talk about music and television and all the technology. We have these phones, and everybody is so isolated, right?
Right.
And to understand that where it came from. So to me, it's not a museum, but to me, when I see the audio and the video and those types of things, or even the clocks and the old fans, that's a piece of history. It's like going to school.
Well,
right?
and the
that coming in
craftsmanship
Yeah.
of thinking that, wow, somebody
Right.
put this together. Somebody
Oh.
designed that radio. Somebody came up
Yep.
with it, and they
Yep.
built that. You
Yep.
know, and same way like with your guitars
Right.
and the hours that go into
Right.
that.
Yeah. And that radio, for instance, we bought that radio. We had it sitting right over that by that door. All of the tubes are working, and we turned it on without an antenna. We got Cuba.
You,
Try that with a radio that you can find
Right.
today. It's incredible.
well, I know like tubes and everything nowadays. That's
Mhm.
a big market, finding the tubes for
Yep.
all this stuff.
Yep.
Well, cool, Mike. I mean, you guys have such a gem here.
Thanks.
You know, and it's a bummer we're not doing Temperance Street Fest this year.
It's okay. We're going to do some things here July and August, and I think the over at Forest View for this is going to be great on the
Yeah.
14th. A lot of good things going on. I want
Mhm.
it to come back. Anything we can do to help facilitate it coming back. But be
It's
looking
definitely coming back.
right. Absolutely, I know that's great.
Well, Blizzard Fest is coming back.
Blizzard
right?
Fest will be-
that'll be
that-
wonderful,
This is going to
fantastic.
be
Oh, huge.
great.
Yes,
thing to
we'll talk
have.
about
Yeah.
mapping that
Yeah.
out. That'll be great. So I appreciate you guys. I really appreciate the community support, you know, from the township
Mhm.
to all the individuals, the people that shop here, the people that call us, the encouragement that take classes. It's really becoming a family, and that's what we wanted, right? Without getting too mushy on you, we just want to help people connect, create, and just just find some peace in this crazy world that we've got, and remember where we came from. Even we need to preserve the past for no other reason that there are some things that we never want to repeat. And I'm really about that, and I believe that this goes a long way in helping that. So,
Mm.
Well, when
So-
you break out that little truck upstairs.
Uh-huh.
I want to drive
The
that
little
puppy.
truck. We actually
Yeah.
that was in all the Temperance
couldn't
Day
get your
parades
leg in
back in
there.
the day. Yeah, and the roof comes off. It's really
Yeah.
kind of nice. You can sit in it.
I
But-
want that thing.
So
Well, let's give
So
a quick
before we
shout
go-
out.
it's okay. Just
do
just
this.
before we go, 734-433-0242 is our telephone number. Website is www.gathercreations.com, which will be at live by probably the 15th, 16th of July. And we're at 9037 Lewis Avenue. It's Gather Creations. My wife Lynette and my daughter Jocelyn are here pretty much every day running the shop. And then I'm available by phone call, and I'm here on Fridays and Saturdays. And I love everybody coming in Fridays and Saturdays and talking about things. And our hours, that's the other thing. Noon to 6, Wednesday through Friday, noon to 4 on Saturdays. However, starting next week, our summer hours are going to be open on Tuesdays. So we'll be open Tuesday through Saturday. And then we're discussing and we will post some evening hours. We really
good.
want to, this place has been great during the day, but we also understand, there's restaurants in the area. There are things that are happening here. And at least for the summer months, when it stays up light longer, we're going to downlight this, take the big lights down, have all of the low lamps on. We've got some LED blue lights over here.
Oh, that's
Somebody playing guitar, having art classes happening here, maybe have some coffee and some light hors d'oeuvres. People can walk around, shop, and actually make an experience. And we'll be posting that. So we'll look for that. We'll
Very
be doing
cool.
that real soon.
Nice.
Very
So-
cool.
Excellent.
Well, let's thank Barron's Insurance, Jacob Supply, and Indian Creek Zoo again for being our sponsors. And thank you all for tuning in.
Yes.
Lots of cool stuff going on here and in this community. And we just really appreciate it. So have a great night.
Say 4th of July.